So, welcome back to our new lecture, that is the forest resources. Welcome back, my dear students and friends, for the new resources, that is the forest resources. We were discussing about the natural resources and renewable and non-renewable natural resources. So, this is about the renewable natural resources. Forests we can create when if we are cutting the forest, we can grow the forest also. So this is renewable resources, but excessive cutting and lopping can actually vanish the forest also. So the 14th World Forestry Congress emphasized that the forests are more than trees and are fundamental for food security and improve livelihood. The forest of the future will increase the resilience of communities by providing food, wood, energy, shelter, fodder and fire. So everything for our daily need we get from the forest, whether it's a food, fodder or whatever, you just name, and everything is from the forest. By that, it will generate income and employment, allowing communities and societies to prosper and harboring biodiversity. They will support sustainable agriculture and human well-being by stabilizing soil and climate and regulating water. So this is what the forests are doing. They are attracting the cloud and bringing the rain and all this. So it is very important as per the FOA 2016. Forests in India are very diverse in their composition, with a long evolutionary and geographical history occurring under diverse climatic and soil condition. We have Himalayas, we have desert, we have Gangetic plain, we have oceans. So India is very diverse, and we have variety of forests and forest resources. And we are very rich. That is why we are one of the 17 mega biodiversity country. We contribute in the um, world biodiversity. The forests represent a very unique assemblage of both Indo-Malayan and Australian species, indicating the geological and paleobotanical value of these forests. So, Indian forests are very diverse in their composition, with a long evolutionary and geographical history occurring under diverse climatic and soil condition. And both we are the India is the unique assemblage of both Indo-Malayan and Australian species, indicating the geological and paleobotanical value of these forests. The total forest cover of India is 7,13,789 square kilometer. That is 21.71% of the total geographical area of the country. This data is from the Indian State Forest Report 2021. So the forest has been classified as per the density. How dense is the forest? So we have classified this data is also from the State Forest Department and classified into the very dense forest, where T density is high, modest dense forest, open forest, total forest cover, scrub, non-forest, and total geographical area. So very dense forest is around 99,779. That is the 3.04% of the geographical area. And moderate dense forest is 3,06,890 square kilometer, that is 9.33, and total forest cover is 7,13,789, that is 21.71%. Scrub means not tall trees but the sparsely shrub species, scrub, thorny little bit. So that is 46,000, and 539, that is 1.42%, and non-forest area are 25,27,141 square kilometer, and the total geographical area is 32 lakhs 87,469, that is 100% of the geographical area. So among states, we have different states, 29 states. Madhya Pradesh is the state having largest forest cover in the country, followed by Arunachal Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. Madhya Pradesh is not only having the good cover of the forest, but also they are very, very rich in the tiger population. Tiger is a glamorous project, is a very important project of government of India. And under that project, we are conserving the tiger, and it is the Madhya Pradesh which is having, the number is increasing. Madhya Pradesh and Karnataka, these are the two states where the numbers are increasing, Uttarakhand also. So these are the states not only having the forest cover, high forest cover, but also having the high density of the tiger and important animal species. So Champion and Sate actually did the beautiful classification of the forest. Our forest has been divided on the basis of the climate, physiognomy, species composition, phenology, topography, soil factors, altitude aspects, and biotic factors. These forests have been classified into 6 major forest types and 16 major groups. Within 6, there are 16 major groups on the basis of temperature and moisture. So basically, topography, altitude, aspect, soil type, phenology, and biotic factor are the important component on the basis of which the whole India has been divided. The forest of whole India has been divided into 6 major, and within 6 there are 16 groups of the forest in India. This again a report has been taken, this data has been taken from the Indian State of Forest Report 2021. So this is the 6 major groups, that is the most moist tropical forest, dry tropical forest, montane subtropical forest, montane temperate forest, subalpine forest, and alpine forest. So this is on the basis of the soil, altitude, temperature, topography, all these are the factors which actually classify the forest type into 6 major forest group, and this 6 has been further divided like moist tropical forest, tropical wet evergreen, tropical semi evergreen, tropical moist deciduous forest, littoral, and swamp forest. So moist tropical forest has been further classified into 4 different groups. Same dry tropical forest has been divided into 3 different groups: tropical dry deciduous, tropical thorn forest, and tropical dry evergreen forest. Montane subtropical forest, montane name itself suggests that Himalayan mountains. So they had been classified into 3 different groups: subtropical broadleaf hill forest, subtropical pine forest, subtropical dry evergreen green forest. Montane temperate forest, again divided into 3 different groups, that is the montane wet temperate, Himalayan moist temperate forest, and Himalayan dry temperate forest. 3 categories: subalpine forest on the basis of the altitude. So subalpine forest has just one class, that is subalpine forest, and alpine forest, that is the moist alpine scrub and dry alpine scrub. So basically this classification was done by the Champion and Sate. Champion published an initial classification of the forest type of India and Burma in 1936. This was revised in 1968 by S.K. Seth, and this is referred to as the Champion and Seth classification of the forest types. So now we will be dealing with all the 16 class one by one, where they are present, what kind of rainfall they are receiving, because rainfall and soil moisture, they are the important component which actually define the characteristic of the each forest types. So there are 16, we will be taking one by one. So first is the moist tropical forest. Moist tropical forest we have already discussed. There are 4 categories. The tropical wet evergreen forests are dense and shows 30 to 45 meter tall trees. These are the forests which are receiving the maximum rainfall, and when they are receiving the maximum rainfall and humidity, they have tall trees. So trees are up to 35 to 40, 30 to 45 meter at high. And these forests have got the 4 or 5 strata, means layers like uh, ground cover, shrubs, herbs, and like this there are 4 to 5 strata generally found in these kind of forests are found where the rainfall are maximum, that is the Western Ghats, Northeast India, and Andaman and Nicobar. And the rainfall is from 2000 to 3000 millimeter, more than 3000 millimeter, these area, and because of that trees are very tall and there are many strata. The diversity of the tree species is high in these forests. The forest is discontinuously distributed mainly along the Western Ghats, These forest types are further divided into southern wet tropical and the that is southern wet tropical forest means Western Ghats and Andaman Nicobar. This is on the southern side of the India, and another was northern wet tropical evergreen forest, that is the Assam, northern Bengal and Arunachal Pradesh, means eastern side. So the tropical wet evergreen forest has been further subdivided into southern wet tropical forest and northern wet tropical forest, and both are having different characteristic like northeast India and southern India, but both are at the one is the coastal area, another is the near the very close to the Himalayas. So this is all about the tropical wet evergreen forest. Wet evergreen forest means throughout the year they are green, they are tall, they are having receiving the maximum rainfall. So the second is the tropical semi evergreen forest. Tropical semi evergreen forest, again, one was the wet green and lesser, as receiving less rainfall as compared to the tropical wet evergreen forest. So trees won't be as tall as the tropical wet evergreen forest. So these are occur in the area adjoining to tropical wet evergreen forest. So these kind of forests are basically found very close to the tropical wet evergreen forest and form a transition between evergreen and moist deciduous forest for the southern and northern tropical semi-evergreen forest. Again, the tropical semi-evergreen forest has been further divided into the southern and northern tropical semi-evergreen forest. So wherever we will find the tropical wet evergreen forest, around that tropical wet evergreen forest will be having the tropical semi-evergreen forest, and as the southern and the northern tropical semi-evergreen forest. So the third type is the tropical moist deciduous forest. Tropical moist deciduous forest rainfall is not as high as tropical evergreen forests, comparatively less. They are common in the area where rainfall is 1000 to 2000 mm with a dense dry season of 3 to 4 months. Okay, so widely distributed, covering both southern and northern states, including Tamil Nadu, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Bihar, West Bengal, Odisha, and Uttarakhand. So these are the areas where we can find the tropical moist deciduous forest, and then come to the littoral and swamp forest. Littoral and swamp forest means the area which are found near the mangrove kind of forest are present. That is the littoral and swamp forest. So east and are found along the east and west coast of India. The Andaman and Nicobar Island, the tidal and swamp forest, that is the mangrove scrub. They are basically dominated with several evergreen and semi-evergreen forests in delta of Ganges and Brahmaputra river. So Sundarban is the largest mangrove. Sundarban delta is the largest mangrove in the world, and the characteristic of the mangroves are that they are having nematophores, means the roots which takes oxygen from the environment. So hanging roots in the air. So this is the because of the swampy area, they have this kind of characteristic. So this is the four different kind of moist temperate moist tropical forests: the tropical wet evergreen forest, the tropical semi evergreen forest, and the tropical moist deciduous forest, and littoral and swamp forest. These are the four category under one. So next is the dry tropical forest. So that was the evergreen forest. Now come to the second category, second group, that is the dry tropical forest. Dry tropical forest has been further divided into the tropical dry deciduous forest, tropical thorn forest, and tropical dry evergreen forest. So tropical dry deciduous forest means they are the largest forest type of India, covering about 40% of the forest area of the country. So dry teak, Tictona grandis, and dry sal forests predominantly in the southern and northern region of the India respectively. So Chhattisgarh, Odisha, these all are dominated by the Shorea robusta, sal forest, while at the southern side, MP and the lower side is dominated with the Tictona grandis. So this is the characteristic of the tropical dry deciduous forest. Now, the second category within the dry tropical forests are the tropical thorn forests. Name itself is suggesting they are receiving less rainfall as compared to the evergreen forest. They are found in the low rainfall areas of the northern India, peninsular India, and central India. Moisture availability is limited of plant growth. The trees experience prolonged dry period. So the trees experience prolonged dry period. Next category is the tropical dry evergreen forest. The tropical dry evergreen forest means the forests are restricted in the distribution to Karnataka coast, also reported from the east coast in the Andhra Pradesh. These are low growing forests. Trees are because they don't receive much rainfall. The trees height are from the 9 to 12 meter tall and form a complete canopy. There is a high diverse of trees, shrubs, and herbs in these forests. So these forests are highly diverse and receive less rainfall as compared to the tropical evergreen forest, and because of that the tree height is less from 9 to 12 meter tall. Third is the montane subtropical forest. So, subtropical broadleaf hill forest means a montane subtropical forest has been divided into three different categories: subtropical broadleaf hill forest, and subtropical tree pine, and subtropical dry evergreen forest. So, we most of us have visited the Himalayas hillside, and we have seen the pinus forest, the coniferous forest, coniferous trees with the needle shaped leaves, and that makes the coniferous forest needle shaped leaves. So montane subtropical forest, the first category is subtropical broadleaf hill forest, occur in the hill slopes and tops of at about 1000 to 1700 meter height in the South India and North India. So altitude varies from the 1000 to 1700 meters. So these forests, name itself explains montane subtropical forest. So the second is the subtropical cheer pine forest. Cheer pine, the scientific name is the Pinus roxburgii, uh, and this is actually the exotic species planted in India during the Second World War because they are very fast growing trees. And during the Second World War, Britishers wanted the coal, the timber for making the boats and all. So that is why these had been brought from outside and planted in India, and they are very, very successful. They are so successful that they are replacing the native species oak, Quercus, different species of Quercus. So subtropical cheer pine forests occur throughout the central and the western Himalayas between 1000 to 1800 meter altitude. The forest of Pinus cassia occur in the Khasi and Naga hills and Manipur hills in eastern Himalayas. The last category under the montane subtropical forest is the subtropical dry evergreen forest. These forests are distributed in the Bhabha tract, Shivalik hills and Himalayas. In Punjab, Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh, Olea cuspidata is found on alluvial ground of wider valley. In Jammu and Kashmir, the dominant species of these scrub forest are Olea cuspidata, Acacia modesta, and Dodenia viscosa. So these are the dominating tree species under the subtropical dry evergreen forest, which are found in the Bhabha tract, Shivaliks, and the foothill of the western Himalayas. So this is about the montane subtropical forest. And now come to the montane temperate forest. The montane temperate forest is further divided into three different categories, that is the montane wet temperate forest, montane moist temperate forest, and Himalayan dry temperate forest. So montane wet temperate forest occur in the high hill of Tamil Nadu and Kerala on the Anamalai, Palni and Tirunelveli hills from about 1500 meter upward, and Himalayan moist temperate forests are distributed in the northern India at altitude ranging from the 1500 to 3000 meters. Several species of oak predominantly in the temperate forest. So this belt in the western Himalaya is dominated by the oak forest, that is the Quercus leucotrichophora, Quercus glauca, Quercus semicarpifolia, Quercus floribunda. So different species of forest, Quercus species are found in the Himalayan moist temperate forest. So Quercus species, oak species are also distributed according to the altitudinal gradient. So Himalayan dry temperate forests, they are the coniferous predominate. Basically, they are coniferous, and they are they are found from the altitudinal range from the 1700 to 3000 meter altitude. In the inner range of Himalayas, rainfall usually less than 1000 millimeter, 100 centimeter you can say. So the fifth category is the subalpine forest. So subalpine forest, the subalpine forests occur throughout the Himalayas above 3000 meter elevation up to the tree limit, and rainfall is from 83 to 600 millimeter. The forest is mainly evergreen and rhododendron. Rhododendron is the local name of the rhododendron is the buraz. If people are from the Uttaranchal, they know. Buraz, the rhododendron is common constituent. Tall trees are coniferous. Butela utilis, which is also known as the Bhojpatra, जिसमें Rishi and Munis used to write on the bark of the Bhojpat, that is the Butela utilis, that is also present as the largest deciduous tree and associated with the genera like Quercus semicarpifolia, Shorbus and rhododendron species. So this is about the subalpine forest, which is from Himalayas above 3000 meter altitude. Then the sixth and the last category is the alpine forest. So the alpine forest was further divided into two different categories: moist alpine scrub and dry alpine scrub. Moist means the wet and dry means the dry. So moist alpine scrub occur throughout Himalayas above timberline to 5500 meter altitude. So timberline means where no trees after timberline, no tall trees are available. The trees are available in the bushy form, in the shrubby form. So that is called timberline. Beyond that, we won't be finding tall trees. So they are above the timberline to 5500 meter altitude, composed entirely of a species of rhododendron with some birch, that is betula, in short form, small trees. Another deciduous trees, the tree trunks are short and highly branched. Moss and ferns cover the ground. A thick layer of humus is present and soil is generally wet. So there are thick layer of humus, and the area is dominated by the moss and the ferns. So next is the dry alpine forest. So dry alpine forest is the last category under the alpine forest, and the last classification of the forest cover. So dry alpine scrub, it is a xerophytic formation. So it is a dry alpine scrub, it is a xerophytic formation having predominant of dwarf shrubs. Rainfall is less than 370 millimeter per year. Characteristic plants are the Juniper Wallichiana, Lonicera species, Potentilla species, and vegetation along the stream is the composed of Salix, Maricaria and Hippophaea. These scrub forests are distributed in Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand and Arunachal Pradesh. In eastern Himalayas, Juniper recurva and Juniper wallichiana occur at an altitude ranging from 3000 to 4600 meters. So this is about the 16 forest type under 6 different categories of the forest. Thank you very much, and please go through with these slides, and if there is any query, just write back to me. I have always mentioned the email in my first slide. Thank you very much.